Hey everybody, it's Rebecca with R&R Acres back here again. I wanted to share with you our loofah growing journey. We did start the loofahs indoors with some seeds to get a head start on the growing seasons because loofah takes a long time to grow. The grow lights were a big important part of keeping our stems thick and healthy during the winter months, starting these since mid-January. They were growing really well indoors. We were looking forward to starting them outside when they got a little bit bigger. We did decide on a growing system of a arched wire trellis. We used 16-foot cattle panels, T-posts, electrical wire to attach them. We ended up using 4 cattle panels to make the full tunnel that we were working on. We were really happy with how this turned out. All of our little helpers, and then for the walkway to keep weeds down, we lined plastic and mulch, and that helped maintain this garden over the year. We used repurposed bee boxes for planters. Sustainability is the way. And then we transplanted our young plants outside. And they started to grow and get their bigger leaves. They did require fertilizer. We used all natural fertilizer. And we also added bone meal as the time went on. Watering was key to keeping them healthy in the South Carolina heat. And they started growing up with their little tendrils wrapped around the wires. It was great and rewarding to watch the plants grow up the wires and over the trellis and starting taking over. And this is our first bloom that we had. So big and so bright. We were looking forward to that. As the summer went on, we went and watched the vines trellis up, and they start covering. Little by little, we would go out there every couple of days and work the vines among the wire so that it would continue to weave in and out. Our first baby loofah arrived, and we were so excited to watch it grow. And there's the start of some male blooms growing. And then they started to grow even more. And as the time went on, we had more and more blooms taking over the trellis system. We are looking forward to all of our young new loofahs that hopefully we'll be making soap soon here for. Once a little loofah started to grow, it did not take long before it became really big. And they just kept growing, and we're getting more and more. We did have to give some extra phosphorus in the form of bone meal to help them produce more fruit. And we had to keep the chickens out now and then as well. And these gourds started really heavy. They feel very wet and heavy when they first get going. And we knew we had to wait until they turned dark and dry. The pollinators loved visiting these blooms. We had native bees, plus our honey bees, and all sorts of pollinators joining the squash loofah plant here. I loved watching them on the plants as they grew. Here on the farm, we do raise quite a few honeybees. We also raise chickens and pigs and peacocks and emus, and we have lots of fun. Sometimes keeping them out of the plants was a troublesome part. Here, the trellis has fully enclosed with loofah plants. And there's one of the giant loofahs almost ready to harvest. It's thinking about it. And we get more and more loofahs growing throughout the trellis. It's part of a hide-and-go-seek game as we're going. We did start tipping the vines as they became so long. This helped encourage the plant to begin more fruiting. There's more of our honeybees. Love those little darlings. As the year progressed and the summer became hot, we were cautious of looking for mold on the plants. And we were fortunate that we had it in an area that did get some breezes to help it. And my daughter Trinity had to climb to the top of the trellis to tip some of the vines. These vines did start growing to the point where it started covering our garden shed next to the trellis. These have gotten huge, so make sure if you try this adventure yourself, you give yourself plenty of room. And then here is that loofah you saw in the beginning of the movie, and it is dark brown, it is light, and when you shake it, you can actually hear the seeds rattle a little bit. And so it's time to harvest. These are tricky to cut, so we just definitely use some pruners or some scissors. And there you go, one loofah. Follow our next video for how to dry them out and peel them. Thank you for watching.